Good morning, Bird Crew. Welcome back. Hopefully y'all are doing well today. Back in it for Tuesday. Hopefully y'all had a good Easter weekend there. Yeah, just hanging out with the family and stuff. We just kind of had a little bit of so I guess Saturday is kind of, Friday I guess technically is when the weekend started, I guess. So we did had a church service on Friday, went to that, and then yeah, that was kind of it. We went like middle of the day. We were able to go, so kind of a little different, I guess. So I'm going in the middle of the day, but it's a good Friday service. And then we went and got some food, did some shopping before the weekend, and then Saturday was kind of more or less a lazy day. Went fishing and kind of just hung around the house for most of the day, and then that night we kind of started the Easter meal prep, I guess, and then Sunday was just going to church, and then we had a nice Easter dinner with family and some family friends too. So pretty good Easter overall, I'd say. Had a lot of nice hangout time, and yeah, just good weekend overall. So yeah, not too bad. For the market though, wasn't anything crazy. Easter we kind of jumped up like crazy. We jumped from 66 all the way up to around 69,000. So pretty good jump over the weekend. And then coming into Monday, we were kind of sitting at the top, I would say. So there was actually a trade though. So what happened is we kind of came up and spiked into our daily resistance, broke back down into our range, and then we fired out of that range and went back up to our daily resistance. And if you were watching the trade yesterday, we had technically a magnet trade, so the target would be the daily resistance. However, there was a zone right here that we went ahead and used as our stop, or our target, I guess, and then also target one was right there as well. So kind of worked out perfectly right there. We just pulled it at target one. So not a bad trade overall. You could have almost taken target two. You would have had to pull it, obviously, but you could have, I guess, targeted in the middle right there at that man, I'm blanking. Our resistance right there. You could target it there. Like I said, though, we just wanted to take some money, so we just went ahead and went with the easy target one. And also, there was a little bit of a resistance zone right there, and it just wasn't super strong in terms of the TA and stuff like that. So we weren't expecting it to go super high yesterday. And yeah, not a bad trade. Just a little 1.14 or 41, so not too bad. It gave you a nice entry, nice easy entry. You could have entered, I mean, if you just threw your entry right here on perfect entry right there on the line, you could have gotten into it on the next candle over. You could have gotten into the candle after that, and if you threw it a little bit off of that, you could even gotten into it on the third candle. So you know, you had a pretty decent breakup, close, and then hold above there for a little while when you could have easily got in a couple different times. So nice little trade there. Not hard to take, not hard to get into, and pretty easy to get out of as well. So yeah, overall nice trade. If you guys were able to take that, that's pretty nice. Throw a little little party balloon or something in the chat if you took that. But yeah, not a bad trade. It was a Monday, so you know there was no live stream or anything like that to help you catch it. But if you were on the charts and you know you got our system and everything, then you could have took that. So yeah, we ended up taking a little money. So nice little trade in there. Yeah, now moving into today, we'll have to check it out. First, we want to say hi to everybody. So welcome in everybody that's here. Looks like Terry's here, Kathleen's here, Strip Maker. So welcome in, y'all. Thanks for joining our live stream. like to see here. Our channel actually is almost at 115 subscribers, so pretty cool. We were just at 100 like a week or two ago, so it's pretty cool to see the channel growing like that. Nice to see people coming in. If you're here, I guess, and you haven't subscribed, then yeah, if you like our stuff that's going on here, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to check out more of our videos. That'll get you in the loop. But yeah, we got another video coming out here at 10, where Spirit Maker kind of runs through yesterday's price action and just talks about some different TA tips and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in possibly learning a little bit, or maybe just checking it out, that'd be a great way to do that. Great way to check us out too if you guys are interested in maybe seeing another one of our video or anything like that. Looks like Spirit Maker said he paper traded that trade there yesterday, so pretty good. You know, always nice to get a little practice in. You know, if you're not sure about a trade, you can always paper trade it and then kind of look at it later and see, well, how did it do, and maybe next time I'll actually take a trade like this. So yeah, not a bad way to do it. But yeah, let's get our charts set up for today and see where we're at. Just being honest, looking at it earlier, it's not super exciting today. There's a possible trade we can check out on ETH, so we'll look at that. But first, let's set up Bitcoin. Just go ahead and get it done for today. Again, no real trades looking, no interesting things happening, I guess, on Bitcoin. So we'll head on over to Kubota.com. I'll show you why. So you can see Bitcoin's down here. It's gray, which means that the favored trade is not. It's not there. Like, we can't trade it. So. And really, we can't trade a long or a short, so really either of them are kind of off the table for today. But we'll go ahead and set it up anyway. So just go over to the right here, click on that data button, and then we'll head back to our charts, and we'll throw those levels we just grabbed into our charts now. So we're on Tuesday today. We'll go ahead and throw these new lines in there. And for you, you'll probably just have our simpler one. So it'll look something more like the one here I have on Solana. So you'll open it up and it'll look like this. You just go ahead and paste your new levels into there. And that'll change up your lines for you. Ours is a little bit more advanced. We're kind of we're testing this indicator here and maybe adding more levels like this. And then also we just use it because it's a little easier to back test and check out stuff, and maybe go back through the week and say, hey, how's this going? Or specifically for live streams and stuff, it makes it easier if we're talking about a day before. We can just go ahead and throw the levels on there and be able to see them just nice and easy without having to go back and find the different levels and stuff. So yeah, that's why ours looks a little different, but that's what we're looking at here for today, with the levels set up. So you can see we have some upside potential up here, or sorry, not upside potential. We have a breakout up here with the resistance above it, right at our stop from yesterday. And then down here we have our breakdown trigger down here in purple, and then above that is our daily support. So we actually have a jailbreak trade here on the downside, but again, the gaps are not worth trading. So if we look at the gap here, we're looking at 0.34. So for Bitcoin, typically you want a 0.5 or above, and 0.34 is not too great for our system. So not looking to take anything really here on BTC today. You know, there's a possibility we break down, possibility we break up, but it's kind of what we're looking at today. It's just really nothing. So we'll go ahead and set up Ethereum though, because if you guys did notice on the Kubota.com, there was actually a trade for Ethereum. There's a possible trade for Ethereum, I should say. So we'll head on over there. So you can see Ethereum is actually highlighted today, so you can see how it's a little different color than BTC and Solana. And then we got our gaps are a little bit bigger here on Ethereum as well, and you can see over on the right side of the I don't know what to call these, I guess like the boxes with the gaps in them, it says magnet and jailbreak. So today, same thing as Bitcoin, except for you can see Bitcoin's in death zone on both, just because the zones are too tight. For Ethereum though, the zones are pretty good. So we got a magnet trade here on the top at 1.99%, and then we got a jailbreak trade down on the bottom at 1.09%. So we'll go ahead and copy the data there, and we'll head back to our charts here and open up Ethereum. And we're going to throw our new levels on there. And there was actually a possible trade yesterday on Ethereum. I actually forgot I was watching it, but didn't break up as high as Bitcoin. So the target one for Ethereum was way up here, just right above this spike. I kind of thought there's a possibility we'd come up to it if Bitcoin hit its resistance. Honestly, it didn't. It just came up and started to curl over. I actually do think I was watching it. I didn't take this one, but I was kind of paying attention to it, paper trading it, I guess, if you will. I had it on there. I was watching it, really trying to see, well, how's Bitcoin going to do? And I believe when Bitcoin kind of spiked its last, it was actually going down. So at 12 or 11:45 candle. Okay, yeah, it did a little bit more of a spike as well. But you can see the candles are already kind of starting to break down, whereas Bitcoin was kind of, kind of all over, but really more sideways than starting to break down. So Ethereum was kind of front running it, which is what we've kind of talked about on the channel. Typically, at least for our system, you'll see a lot of times when Ethereum or Solana will actually kind of front run Bitcoin a little bit. So if you're looking to trade Bitcoin and you see one of the other ones says it might fire on the market radar, you kind of want to watch that one as well, just to kind of see, maybe it'll give you a little early indication. You could have a possibility of maybe jumping out of the trade because you see Ethereum's going to fall down. Just a little, things that are possibilities. Definitely want to use some TA if you're going to do that. Obviously, you're not going to just jump out because you see a probably red candle, I guess, for most people. Red candle on Ethereum. You don't want to just jump out because you see that red candle start to form on Ethereum. You want to actually have some nice, like, hard facts, I guess, for why you're jumping out. Some nice TA, solid TA here on Ethereum telling you, hey, it actually is time to get out. I don't know. We'll see which way we go today. It's actually looking pretty interesting here on Ethereum. Maybe not in terms of like actually taking a trade, but interesting in terms of how it's kind of set up. So typically you'll see a little wider range here on the two breakdown and breakout triggers. And then the 30-minute range is like right on top of our it's like right on top of the two triggers. So kind of interesting there. And then as well, on top of that, we actually have the daily support on the outside of the breakout trigger. So that's interesting there. And then we do have a pretty big gap to the upside. So that's kind of normal, I guess, for a magnet trade. The question, I guess, is, are you going to go down or are you going to go up? It's hard to tell with how it's set up. It's not set up very clearly one way or the other. Typically what you'll see is the 30-minute range closer to whatever side it's going to actually break out of. And today, obviously, we don't have that. It's spread the gap of the breakdown and breakout triggers. So you don't know which way it's going to go today. And then on top of that, we also have both Bitcoin and Solana not saying they're not going to go anywhere today. So for Ethereum to say it's going to go somewhere, it's kind of interesting that it is saying that at all. And we'll see what happens here. Just looking at price action, I'm thinking there's a possibility we'll break down here. we'll kind of see, yeah, what happens, but I'm thinking there's a possibility we break down. One thing we kind of learned recently, and we've been kind of testing this with our theory, is if you grab your fibs, and we can go ahead and do this to make it a little simpler. So if you have your fibs, right, and you draw them through the gaps, so depending on which way you set up your fibs, mine are backwards, I think, compared to how most people do it, but you can see I have the top and the bottom of my fibs, and then I have my targets obviously down here. But if we draw the fibs in between the gaps of the line, so the breakdown breakout trigger, and we look at the percentage of time that Bitcoin is either below the 0.5 or above the 0.5, what we've kind of like, I guess, seen in theory, and we're kind of trying to see how it works in our system, is that if you're below that 0.5%, more often than not, then you're typically going to break down. And then there's also another thing on top of that, is that if you start to see lower highs forming, you're typically going to see that breakdown happen. Or if you see higher lows forming, then you're going to see that breakout. And that's kind of the idea there. So right now, technically, you've seen more upside than downside for the trade. However, I personally am thinking that we're going to see a breakdown here if we do get a trade. Just from how it looks, I would say it looks more like we're going to get a breakdown. That's just, I guess, intuition, though. There's not a whole lot of hard facts really that are pointing towards that yet. So we got to wait and see. Will we get that breakdown? Will we get the breakout? It's really only time will tell, you know. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens here as we kind of go into it. If we look at our indicator here, the Joule, on the 15, it's looking like we're going to get a breakout. I believe. Okay, yeah, the hour. It was starting to roll kind of yesterday. Was that yesterday? No, into this morning, I guess. It was, okay, that makes more sense, yeah. So yesterday we were at the top, and then we kind of rolled off, and then this morning we started to see that curl back up. There was a possibility of a little run up, and then we end up breaking down. Now we're starting to curl back over, so there's a possibility we could continue down here into this zone here on the Joule. That would make sense for our trade, I guess, to the downside. On the 15 minute, though, we're not really confirming that. We're showing more of a possible up move here on the 15. Well, just based off of how it's kind of curling here. There's a possibility, I guess, we curl and come back down back into this zone. Maybe that'd be a breakdown. Would it be very long? Probably not, and it wouldn't go very far, I wouldn't think. So maybe just a lot of chop today, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. There's definitely a possibility here on Ethereum. It's just maybe for me, it's not super exciting. It's just weird that, you know, Bitcoin is thinking, or Ethereum is thinking about breaking down without Bitcoin or anything else. There's a trade possibility here, though, so who knows. So that's our trade for today if we're taking it to the downside. So like I said, you could take maybe a target 1, maybe target 2. Technically it is a jailbreak, so there's a possibility of a target 3 as well. Target 2 and target 3 I guess are more possible just because of how it works. But yeah, I don't know. Again, we'll just have to wait and see how it works. What ends up happening for today. But that I would say is the more likely trade today. So if you guys want to pause the video, get a screenshot, we can throw the trade on there for you and get the settings so you can see it a little better. Boom, boom, boom. We'll throw it at target 2 for you. There you go. That's the settings. If you guys want to pause it, take a little screenshot, you can check out that trade, maybe do your own TA on it. Again, we're only here for educational purposes only, so we're not trying to give any financial advice or anything, but that is what the system's calling today. So good thing to maybe paper trade, you know. Yeah, that's the downside. Let's check out the upside though as well. So we'll head back to Ethereum here and grab our code for the long one, and we'll switch it out. There we go. So this is our long trade for today. You can see the stop's a little bit lower here, and then we got our trade to the upside. Technically, we should be targeting the daily resistance here in the red dashed line. That's just what you target whenever you take a magnet trade. So we'll throw the stop down here, throw the target way up here. You're looking at a 1.92. So again, not on risk to reward wise, it's not bad. Target 1 on both of them is pretty low at 0.5. Target 2 is probably the best target on both of them, I would say. Like if you're going to take down or up, I would say target 2 is probably the more ideal target than 1. 1's just so not far at all, so you're just not getting a whole lot of cash back. It's just kind of more risk than there is reward, really, is the issue you run into. Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening here though on how the trade works. But not too excited about either way, really. Oh, I guess we'll give you the settings for that. There you go. That's what we're looking at if you want to pause it and grab it. Yeah, that's about it for today. We don't have too much going on, just a lot of more sideways action today. Seems like it's been like that for a couple weeks now, so not a whole lot going on. We're thinking April might ramp up a little bit, so maybe coming into the next week or two, maybe even later this week, we'll see a little bit more of a ramp up here in terms of, you know, trading and just different trades kind of happening and coming into the market. As of right now, there's just not a whole lot going on. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of you know, questionable, like, are we going to go up, are we going to go down? We haven't really fully confirmed a direction yet. We've been fighting around this level for a while. I mean, if we go look at our investment tab, we've been kind of talking about this for a while. We got our 50% flip line here, and typically when we flip this line, we'll flip and go into a crypto winter. If we flip it to the upside, we'll go into a crypto summer, or more of a bull market. And right now we've been playing with this line since like February, so it's been over 2 months now that we've been sitting right around this line. Yes, we've gone, you know, down and then kind of sideways. We've gone up and tried to break out, and then now we're back down under it again. So kind of just all over with it. So the question is, are we going to continue here? Are we going to break back up and try to continue to the upside? Are we going to continue downwards and go into more of a crypto winter? Who knows? We don't really care, honestly. We just want it to pick a direction. If it's going to go down, then, you know, it's not as exciting, I guess, if it goes into more of a winter, but it's still going to be good because it'll pick a direction for us. We'll take it, and then we'll be able to kind of just trade it, you know, to the downside, and we'll get some better trades than right now. Really, up or down, either way, with a little bit more volatility of it going either way, it just gives us a lot better room to either trade it either way. And right now, with it being sideways, it's just a whole lot of not great trades. So yeah, we're just hoping to see that break soon. We've been calling out that 70,000 line quite a bit recently. I believe on our video coming out today, we were actually talking about possibility of it holding it last night into today. Obviously it didn't. We ended up breaking down, but you know, it's just kind of all over. Well, not really all over, I guess. It's just kind of just stagnant, really. It's really what it is. Just running sideways, a lot of range. There's not a whole lot happening. Yeah, we just don't have a nice break to either side, and we're waiting to see what's going to happen here. Are we going to break up? Are we going to break down? Are we just going to run sideways for a long time? I don't know. Again, we're just going to have to wait and see. Hopefully we'll pick a direction soon, I guess is all I'm saying. Once we pick that direction, it'll be a lot easier to kind of see the direction of the market and be able to take trades that are just, firing a little bit better. But it's kind of how it is. Sometimes trading's good, sometimes trading's bad. Into January, into February, or January into February is pretty good week, pretty good month. So we had pretty good trades there. And then coming into February, it kind of slowed down a little bit. There's still some decent ones. And then March was really slow, just a lot of random volatility. And then we'll see how April's doing. Right now, it's kind of shaping up to be a little bit more of the same. So we'll see what ends up happening. Like, are we going to break up? Are we going to break down? I don't know. Hopefully this is the decision month. If not, I guess next month we'll see. I don't know. You just got to play it day by day, So, not that there's not going to be trades this month. There's definitely still trades and things to take. It's just not as, exciting of moves, or it's not as easy. I guess it's just a lot more time to your trades take longer. They might not go all the way to target 3. They might hit 2 and you think they should hit 3, or just might be a lot of like target 1 pulling or stuff like that. So it's not necessarily like bad things. There's definitely still room to make money. There's still time, still options and opportunities in the market. It's just they're just not as exciting as when we flip to either side. So we're hoping to flip to either side pretty soon here, but we'll just have to wait and see what the market does, and we'll be on top of it whichever way it goes, really. So if you guys hang around, stick with us on the channel, we'll be calling it out, talking about it whenever it does flip to one side or the other, and we'll more than likely be live as well talking about it. So that's kind of it for today's stream though. So thank y'all for joining. Again, hopefully tomorrow is a little bit better. Typically Wednesdays are a better trade day in general, so we'll see what ends up happening tomorrow. You can go ahead and watch those Ethereum trades that we were talking about, either the up or the down. There's definitely a possibility for either. You're just going to wait and see what happens with the closes. If you are trading if you're trying to like stick more to our systems bias, higher probability to trade, I guess, it would be the long for today. The micro bias is bullish, actually so is the macro bias, so we're looking more bullish for today. So if you're looking to take some kind of trade or something like that today, technically you'd want to be looking for that bullish trade, specifically on Ethereum and Bitcoin. Solana is still bearish on the micro trends, but so if you're looking to take a trade and you're looking to stay in that higher probability, you'd be wanting to wait for it to do an upside trade. If you're trading it either way, there's definitely either way of trade here today. So we'll see what happens. Again, we're just here for educational purposes, and that's it. So thank you all for joining. We'll be live here tomorrow at 8:30. Looking for another trade. So if you guys are interested in that, check us out. Again, we also have a video coming out at 10, just covering TA and just tips and things like that, and also just things we're kind of watching for in the market. So yeah, thank y'all for joining again. Happy trading to y'all, and we will catch y'all tomorrow.